Hello everyone. Today I am going to take concept facing an oscillations which will be useful to crack NEET and JEE. Many applications are there who can discuss in one class, like how the simplest way you can do the problems. And you can see I am going to start with the displacement. Yeah, displacement may be x or y. So I am taking the x, a wave is traveling. If a wave is traveling, here this is increasing, and again comes to 0, and again decreasing, again comes to 0, and again increasing, and again decreasing to 0. So here we can consider this a sine function x equal to a sine of omega t plus phi. Here displacement x equal to a sine of omega t plus phi. Sine function is the increasing one. Cos function if you take the decreasing function. Because sine 0 value is 0, sine 90 value is 1. But whereas if you take the cosine graph, cos 0 value is 1, cos 90 value is 0. So it is going to decreasing function. So here x equal to a sine of omega t plus phi. Here a is equal to amplitude, then omega equal to angular frequency, and this one total omega t plus phi is said to be the phase. Here phase is said to be the phase constant. Then you can write here omega equal to 2 pi by t also can write. Otherwise we can write 2 pi into f also we can write. Then a particle having length L, it is moving from the mean position. You can take mean position here, mean position towards extreme. We can write x equal to a sine of omega t plus phi. Then whereas, so here particle is moving from mean to extreme. The same particle, if it is moving from extreme to mean, you can take x equal to a cos of omega t plus phi. So here once again repeating you, a particle is moving from the mean to extreme, x equal to a sine of omega t plus phi. The same way a particle is moving from extreme position to mean position, x equal to a cos of omega t plus phi. Then here omega equal to, can write x equal to, I am writing a sine of omega you can write 2 pi by capital T into small t plus phi. So here t is the period or time period. Then here small t is the time taken for a particle to move from one position to another position. So here small t can write x by a is equal to sine of 2 pi by capital T into t. Then if I write t by 2 pi into sine inverse of x by a is equal to t. So here t is the time taken for a particle to move from one position to another position. Suppose a particle at mean position x equal to 0 to a particle is moving from amplitude a by 2. So then if I take t equal to t by 2 pi into sine inverse of x by a, so total is 0. So can take total, this is 0. Then if I take t to t by 2 pi into sine inverse of x by a, where x equal to a by 2, x equal to a by 2. So if I write sine inverse of a by 2 divided by a, then you can write t2 equal to t by 2 pi into in sine inverse of 1 by 2, sine 30. So we can write pi by 6. So you can pi by gets cancelled, you can write t by 12. So the time taken for a particle to move from x equal to 0 to x equal to a by 2. So you can write t2 by t1 equal to t by 12. Yeah, like that you can find out for a by 2 to a also you can find out. Yeah, same way I am taking here a by 2 to a. So then t1 equal to, you can write t by 12. So to move to a, then you can write t2 equal to t by 2 pi into sine inverse of a by a. Then we get t2 equal to t by 2 pi into sine inverse of 1. Sine inverse of 1 will get at pi by 2. Sine pi by 2. So pi by gets cancelled. T2 equal to, can write t by 4. So then time taken delta t equal to t by 4 minus t by 12. So we can write 8t by 48. We can write t by 6 seconds. The time taken by a particle to move from a by 2 to a, t equal to t by 6. Then here velocity. Velocity v. So if you take velocity v equal to, we know dx by dt. You can write d by dt of x equal to a sine of omega t plus 5. Then you can write v equal to d by dt of a omega cos of omega t plus 5. Then you can write v equal to, yeah, we know sin square theta plus cos square theta is equal to 1. Then you can write cos theta equal to square root of 1 minus sin square theta. So if you write v equal to omega into square root of a square minus x square. So velocity of a particle v equal to omega square of a square minus x square. If x equal to 0 at mean position, at mean, if I take x equal to 0, so we can write v equal to a into omega. So this should be the maximum. Then at extreme position, we take x equal to a, then v equal to omega into 0. So we can take 0. So the velocity of a particle at mean position will be the maximum, v equal to a omega. At extreme position, x equal to a. So velocity of a particle will be the 0. So this is about the velocity. So even you can do the derivation with the x equal to a cos omega t plus 5 also. Similar, you will get it. The next here, acceleration of a particle. If you take, so displacement, what we got, x equal to a sine of omega t plus 5. Then whereas velocity v equal to, we got a omega cos of omega t plus 5. Then v equal to omega t square of a square minus x square. Then next one, if I take acceleration, so acceleration of a particle a. So here you can write dv by dt. So already we know a equal to d by dt of v value, you can write a omega cos of omega t plus 5. Then we'll get a equal to, so a omega d by dt of cos omega t plus 5 the minus sin omega t plus 5 into omega. So we'll get acceleration of a particle minus omega square into a sin of omega t plus 5. So we know it, a sin of omega t plus 5. So a equal to what we can write, minus omega square x. Similarly here, at mean position, x equal to 0, then acceleration of a particle. So acceleration of a particle, what will happen? So minus omega square into x, x value is 0. So acceleration of a particle is 0 when working at the mean position. Then at extreme position, at extreme position, if you write x equal to a, then acceleration of a particle will be minus omega square into a. And if you take modulus omega square into a, so here will be the minimum. So acceleration of a particle here will be the maximum. The next one, here important point children, you can note down. So if you take the ratio of velocity maximum to the acceleration of a maximum, so we know max velocity of a particle a into omega divided by the acceleration of a particle a into omega square. Then a gets cancelled, we are getting 1 by omega. So V maximum by A maximum of a particle will be 1 by omega. The next one, force law. Force law, if you take a rigid support, for that support a spring is going to connect a block of mass M. The spring of force constant is K. If you apply force along in this direction, so that means acceleration of a particle trying to move, but due to ascension the particle trying to move to unflow, so even try to move towards left side. Then if we take force F is equal to, due to the spring we can write F equal to minus K into X. Then the acceleration of a particle due to the block is trying to move, it's an acceleration, so we can write F equal to M into A is equal to minus K into X. So already we know the acceleration of a particle minus omega square x equal to minus K into X. Then if it gets cancelled, x gets cancelled, we'll get K equal to M into omega square. Then here omega equal, you can write square root of K by M. Then from this you can find out time period. Time period what you can write? So time period of a particle you can write T equal to 2 pi divided by omega. So omega value you can write 2 pi into square root of M by K. Then here, if the springs are connected in series, so here one spring of constant and one more spring we are going to consider a block of mass M is connected here. Then here between there is no block. So because of reason the force will try to act. So even here also force, both of us acting upward direction. Then weight here. Then we can take. So force, both the net force is acting upward. Then here displacement will be different. So displacement will be y1. So this displacement will be the y2. The net displacement y equal to, I am writing y1 plus y2. So we know the acceleration of a particle a equal to minus omega square y and f equal to minus k into y, otherwise minus k into x. So then y equal to, I am writing minus f by k. So if you write y equal to minus f by k, that is equal to y1, you can write minus f by k1 minus f divided by k2. So then you can write minus f by k equal to, so 1 by k1 plus 1 by k2. Then we can write when the springs are connected in series, 1 by k equal to 1 by k1 plus 1 by k2. Similarly, if the springs are connected in the parallel, springs are connected in parallel. So here it is its support, a spring of force constant K, in between block is a block of mass M. For that one more spring we are going to connect. So here between the block is connected. If this spring is trying to move toward the side, the similar way, so how much will decrease, that much increase in this. So net displacement will be, both the cases will be the same. So that means force, here force F, I am taking here force is F2. So the net force you can write F is equal to F1 plus F2. So F I am writing minus K into Y, that is equal to minus K into F1. So you can write K1 into displacement is same Y minus K2 into Y. So here for constant K1 and this one is K2. Then if you write displacement is same, Y gets cancelled, you can write K is equal to K1 plus K2. So now the springs are connected in the series 1 by K equal to 1 by K1 plus K2. The springs are connected in the parallel K equal to K1 plus K2. Then time period will be 2 pi into square root of m by K. You can write K when it is in parallel K1 plus K2. So you can write K1 plus K2. If the spring of length L is cut into the two parts, of the length L1 and the next length L2, you can write K1 L1 is equal to the total length is L, the total spring constant is K. So you can write K into L1 plus L2. So then you can find force constant K1 equal to K into L1 plus L2 divided by L1. Then similarly you can find same K2 also, the second part. K2 L2 equal, you can write K into L1 plus L2. So you can write K2 equal to K into L1 plus L2 divided by L2. Then time period will be, changes by, the important point children, make it stop. The time period changes by T dash equal to T by root n times. So if the spring is cut into the two parts, then time period becomes T dash equal to T by root 2 times. So one of the important point here. The next one. Energy in a section. Energy in a section. We know total energy is equal to kinetic energy plus potential energy. Total energy equal to kinetic energy half into m into v square. So we know half into omega square into a square minus x square plus potential energy half into m omega square into x square. Then here, so half m omega square a square minus half m omega square x square plus half m omega square x square, plus and minus both gets cancelled. Then total energy is equal to half into m omega square a square. One of the important relation, so you have to be careful in the problems. So total energy equal half m omega square into a square. The next topic, simple pendulum. It is one of the important topic. Maximum of the objective question from this topic you can get in NEET or JEE. You can see here. The L length of a string, other a bob is connected. So this bob, if you apply the force, it will try to move to and from. So first of all, the bob is moving toward this side. So here is making an angle of theta. The string is makes an angle theta here. Then if we take the angle, so this is the angle theta. If we extend this angle, so generally weight will act downwards. So this side mg cos theta component. So this side is mg sin theta. So the force, because of this mg sin theta component, is trying to move toward this side. So we can write force F is equal to mg sin theta. Then what is coming in the opposite direction? So minus. We know torque. Torque tau equal to force into perpendicular distance. So you can write torque tau equal to, what is the force we got? Minus mg sin theta. Here, the angles are so small. Mg sin theta, and what is the distance? Distance, we take the length. Then here angles are so small, we can write sin theta is equal to theta. And we know torque tau is equal to I into alpha also. So I into alpha equal to, I am writing minus mg into theta into L. Then we write I into alpha. Angular acceleration alpha equal, you can write minus omega square theta into minus mg into theta into L. Theta theta gets cancelled, minus minus gets cancelled. Then you can write omega square equal to mg into L divided by I. Here is the moment of inertia, then I we can write omega square equal to mg into L divided by m into L square. So m gets cancelled and L gets cancelled. Then you can write omega equal to square root of g by L. The simple pendulum is useful to measure the time period. Then you can find time period. Time period t equal to, we know, 2 pi omega. Then if we substitute omega here, you get time period t equal to square root of L by g. So if g decreases, then time period of the pendulum will be increase. Here are few applications. Suppose consider an elevator. A person is standing in a lift when he is moving upwards. Like that, we are going to take the pendulum. Pendulum in a lift when it is accelerating upwards and it is moving downwards. Suppose moving up. Moving up. So this is the elevator. In that elevator, we are taking a pendulum. So pendulum is moving toward this side. So here, the lift is moving upwards. If the lift is moving upwards, so generally here weight always will act downwards. An imaginary force will act, that will act opposite to the motion. So the lift is moving upwards, so then pseudo force will act down. Then you can take net force here, mg plus ma. Then you can write g effective equal to, both are acting in the same direction, you can write g plus ma. Then time period t equal to 2 pi into square root of L divided by g plus a. So then g plus a, if this decreases, automatically time period of the pendulum will increase. Then same pendulum, consider in elevator, it is moving downwards. Yeah, same rule you can apply here. So this is a pendulum. Then when it is moving down, so generally weight will act downwards, but pseudo force will act upwards, opposite to the motion. So that is m into a. So then you can write g effective equal to g minus a. Then time period t equal to 2 pi into square root of L divided by g minus a. Similarly, if it is a stationary lift, in a stationary lift, so lift is not moving, then you can take, it is like a freely falling body, so then acceleration will be equal to the g. Then you can write time period t equal to square root of pi into L by A equal to G, if you write, it will be the 0, then time period will become infinity. So when the lift is moving up, time period equal to 2 pi square root of L by G plus A. When the lift is moving downwards, 2 pi square root of L by G minus A. Then whereas if you take in a freely falling body, then T equal to infinity. Suppose the same pendulum is immersed in a liquid with the density of rho L. Immersed in a liquid of density rho L. Then here G value, G effective will vary. So G effective you can write G into 1 minus rho L by rho S. So we know relative density equal to density of the solid divided by density of the liquid. So we can write rho L by rho S 1 by relative density. So then G effective equal to G into 1 minus 1 by relative density. So then time period will be varied. So time period T equal to 2 pi into square root of L by G into 1 minus 1 by relative density. Application. The pendulum considering the inclined plane. Inclined plane. If we take then time period of a pendulum T equal to 2 pi into square root of L divided by G into cos theta. The next one, if you take the two pendulum of the length Ls and length of a longer pendulum, both are having time period Ts and Tl, then which pendulum will make more oscillations? Then you can write here time period of a shorter pendulum, this is the time period of a longer pendulum. You can write n into time period of a shorter pendulum is equal to n minus 1 times of the time period of a longer pendulum. Then you can write Ts divided by Tl is equal to n minus 1 divided by n. Even you can write time period is directly proportional to the length, so you can write square root of time period T is directly proportional to square root of n. Then you can write length of the shorter pendulum to the length of a longer pendulum equal to, you can write n minus 1 by n oscillations. So one of the important application. All the best. I hope everyone will like this video. Please like and share, subscribe our Master IIT Academy YouTube channel. Thank you.